I'm Morgan. Today is October 10th, 2024, and I'm here with another update on the Styxhexenhammer666 situation. So, a contact of mine ended up sending me a video that individual thought I should check out because it apparently relates to the Styxhexenhammer drama slash situation slash whole domestic abuse battery charge. So the alleged victim in that situation is a woman who goes by the name of Samantha and also sometimes goes by the username of Laylithe. So Samantha slash Laylithe had a conversation with, I believe it is Julian, and Julian, I believe, is the owner slash the person in charge of the Master Race Frankenstein Radio YouTube account. And on the Master Race Frankenstein Radio YouTube account, there is a video called John 8-Hurricane Band of Heathens cover. And in this video, someone is playing like a cover of a song. And so therefore I am going to have to end up muting this video for copyright reasons. But it has a bunch of screenshots of a conversation that is alleged to be between, I believe it is Samantha and Julian. And so I thought I would go ahead and kind of just give my commentary to and reactions about what I think is going on. Okay, I want to make sure I have like the highest quality here. And it starts off with what appears to be an audio message, but I actually can't play that because this is just a screenshot from, I think, Samantha to Julian. And I think Julian says, "What's wrong?" And there's a screenshot of a conversation. I'm not entirely sure who it's between. It says, "Help, what do I do? Torl just threw the phone at my ribs and it slid under the bottom one and hurts. And told me to go F my new boyfriend that I don't have. All I did was let him read the messages between my friend and I because he accused me of having adult relations with him. I've been having nosebleeds every day." That's an interesting thing to add there. And then the other person responding says, "I'm so confused, what happened?" And I think this person talking here is probably Laylithe slash Samantha. Says, "I don't know, I'm crying my nose blood again. He threw my phone at my ribs. It hurts?" That is so sad. Okay. And that screenshot, it appears that Samantha sent a screenshot of that conversation to Julian. And Julian appears to be saying WTF. And then Samantha appears to be saying, "Front desk asked if I wanted her to call the cops. Dude, I don't. And then it says, "I hate cops. I cuss word hate dealing with cops and court and the state." And at the bottom, there's this barely visible part that says, "What the H is he talking about?" And then the next message in this video is Samantha saying, "That's me messaging his sister." Okay, so the previous screenshot of a message is Samantha messaging, I believe, Tarl's sister. And then I believe Julian is saying, "Ice them. Who is he accusing you about and why? What's he emotional for?" And then Samantha's reply message is actually blurred out. And Julian says, "Why is he accusing you?" And Samantha says, "He says I've been treating him like SHIT and saying I don't want to be with him." And Julian is saying, "Sammy, ice your ribs and be calm. Is he drinking? That's ridiculous." Samantha says, "He's always drinking," a crying face emoji. "Juge, what the F word?" And Julian is saying, so this is, okay, so that confirms to me that this is supposed to be between Julian and Samantha. Julian says, "Be patient, be forgiving, catch him sober and tell him how worried you are. Don't guilt him, be graceful. This should really be a wake-up call for him. That's not acceptable and he knows it." And then the next message is a little bit cut off. It says, "So calm and patient and something." Scroll for details. Oh, that just okay, scroll for details just takes me down there. It doesn't show me more of the message. Okay, the next message, Julian says, "So be calm and patient and forgive him, but do not let this go unacknowledged as a serious problem. Samantha says he's cast me down and that I shouldn't expect anything else from him. Julian says, why is he accusing you? Samantha says that there are other people more deserving of his money than I. I gave him my phone to read the messages between Krostoff and he came back in and threw the phone at my ribs. And when I rolled over off the bed and trying to catch my breath and crying, he told me to stop faking it and that it didn't hurt. Oh my gosh. That's this poor... My heart goes out to this woman. My heart goes out to this woman. This breaks my heart. This just makes me feel so sad. This poor thing. Like, clearly, this woman is in pain and deserving of our respect and sympathy. Like, that's just such an awful... That's an awful thing to say to someone in pain. I'm trying to calm down because I really feel strongly like we should respect women. And so I feel really hurt when I see a woman being treated badly. Or alleged to be being treated badly. Julian says, well, certainly do not ask him for money for the rest of the trip, and do not apologize if you have done nothing wrong. Did he meet blanked out? Why is he reacting this way? Okay. And then it says, okay, Julian, you replied to Samantha's message, and when I rolled over off the bed trying to catch my breath and crying, he told me to. So Julian is saying in response to that message, so he's drunk. Samantha is saying, yes, he's drunk, and saying I need to be punished. What the heck? Like, talking about punishing your wife doesn't, or girlfriend or significant other, like, if you are both consenting adults, talking about punishing your partner just doesn't seem like a healthy relationship dynamic, because in, I'd say, like, a normal relationship, like, both parties are, I think, equals. They're supposed to be equals. And so talking about wanting to punish your partner just, it doesn't necessarily seem like the most healthy relationship dynamic in the whole entire world. Like, that's what I will say there. Like, I'm picking up that seems to be an unfair power dynamic. If one party is saying that the other needs to be punished, like, that just doesn't seem like a fair power dynamic to me. So Julian said, what will you do? I mean, big picture. Samantha says, I don't know, Julian. Julian says, don't ask for money and leave him alone. Get behind me, Satan isn't a meme. It is turning your back to evil. Obviously, when you get back to Vermont, you need to give him an ultimatum. I don't, like, how do I put this? Like, what I have heard is that ultimatums in relationships don't always end well. I'm just thinking, like, at this point, if I were in Samantha's shoes, I think I would already be calling it quits on the relationship, but I don't, like, how do I put this? I'm not her. I don't know what's going through her head. I really hope that she's safe, is what I'm trying to say. Like, I hope that she's safe. And Julian says, he has attacked you and he will know that he was wrong. Yet if he will not stop drinking now, then you will have to keep him behind you and carry on. Samantha says, he's already assaulted me drunk before, Julian. Oh my gosh. This allegation just, my heart. I feel so awful for this woman. My heart goes out to this woman, this poor woman. And then she says, I didn't call them something either. It's kind of like blocked by the scroll for details thing. Okay. I didn't call them then either. Then Samantha's next message is like blurred out and it says no bruises, but still. And Julian says, I recommend that you give him the ultimatum as soon as he apologizes or immediately when you get home if he does not, and stick to your decision. If he is sober and says he does not want you, have peace. Seek peace above all things, though you cannot allow yourself to be trampled. And then there's a heart emoji and a praying emoji. I cannot overstate that patience, forgiveness, and grace are your only way to peace. Be graceful, teach him with grace, convert him with your peace. So I'm not sure what time those messages were from, because there's a thing that says September 30th at 7:57 p.m. So that suggests to me that there's a little bit of a break between those messages and this next one. Julian says, WYD, how are things? I am not 100% sure what that acronym means. Samantha said, I had to call the cops, Julian. This isn't the first time he's assaulted me. Julian says, geez, what's going on right now? And then September 30th at 8:54 p.m., Samantha says he got arrested for assaulting me. Yeah, I think, if I remember correctly, I think this lines up with what the records are currently showing. So I believe that lines up with like other evidence so far. To the best of my memory is what I'm trying to say. Julian has a heart emoji. Wow, Tarl is a no in caps. Jail, very interesting. Oh, Tarl and a no jail. Oh, I think no stands for like a geographic location. Okay. Well, I'm sorry you had to deal with this. How is your rib? Are you icing it? And then there is a photograph of, I believe that is the ribs of the alleged victim, showing where the phone hit. And the alleged victim, Samantha says, it's not even shown up yet fully. Okay. And Julian says, do put ice on it to keep it from swelling. Samantha says, I didn't want him to go to jail. I didn't want him to go to jail. I was begging the cops to just do an overnight if they legally had to take him and let me pick him up in the morning. Here's the thing. I understand that oftentimes when a woman loves someone, she'll want to protect him. She won't want anything bad to happen to him. And so I felt awful for Samantha, because even though I personally, from what the evidence shows so far, I think that she is a victim, I understand that she probably feels guilty. She probably feels as if this is somehow her fault, when I don't think she should blame herself. But I understand that she probably feels a lot of hard to deal with feelings right now. This poor woman. Julian says, what did you want? Samantha says, proof that he's been assaulting me and abusive in case it gets worse. Oh, this poor girl. Because I want him to get better. Oh my gosh, this poor woman. I feel for her. My heart goes out to her. I just wanted to not get hurt. I was scared he took my phone and threatened to toss it off the balcony. So that's terrifying, because the thing is, a phone is something that's really essential in everyday modern life, because a lot of times people will use their phone for two-factor authentication, and so they might need their phone to access their bank account or whatever. And so threatening to toss someone's phone off the balcony is not okay. That is a horrifying allegation. Oh my gosh. And then Samantha says he had already hurt me by throwing the phone at me. Again, disclaimer, these are screenshots. It is possible, maybe, I'm not gonna accuse Julian of editing these, but it is possible that how do I put this? Maybe this could have been edited or something. I'm trying to say, like, do always take things with a grain of salt, essentially. That's what I'm trying to say. Because I know that I tend to jump immediately towards just believe women. But so my bias might be believe women, but I'm trying to say, like, do take things with a grain of salt and stuff. Because these are very serious allegations. Because Samantha said, I just wanted to not get hurt. I was scared he took my phone and threatened to toss it off the balcony. He had already hurt me by throwing the phone at me. And Julian says, geez. And Samantha says, he kept accusing me of cheating on him with, it's marked out. Julian says, why? Samantha says, literally all crossed out. And I do is talk about our relationships, his musical spirituality, and Tarl himself. Then Samantha says, blank says, because he's insecure. His sister, not entirely sure what that is in context to. Julian says, that ridiculous man, if he were not drunk, he would not be so vulnerable to those emotions. Samantha says, I know, I've been begging and begging, pleading, praying. I want to say to, like, anyone watching this video, I get that addiction of any sort can be considered, like, a mental health problem. And so, like, I get that there's, like, sometimes an immense amount of sympathy. But if someone is hurting you, whether they're drunk or not, seek help. Seek help. Like, drunkenness should not be considered an excuse to hurt someone. Julian says, do not ask him anymore. Samantha says, I won't. I sent him one last message, but fuck. And this is a little bit hard to see. It says, okay, it's a screenshot of what appears to be Samantha messaging Tarl Warwick. And it looks like Tarl says, will you at least have the loyalty to transit me back to Vermont? That's all I ask since travel sucks. Go ahead and suck other dudes off. None of my business. What the? Why would he say such a thing? Like, why would he say such a thing? I can see you saw my message. I think it says LOL. Have fun. FUCKIN. Just the way he speaks, if that is actually, like, him messaging Samantha, the way he treats her is so, like, I just don't think he's being very respectful and kind. Sorry, my headphones died for a second there. Like, I just don't think he's being really respectful and kind to her. Like, I think that it is important to treat women with respect. And so I don't really like the way that he's communicating to Samantha, if that is him. And then Samantha's response to that seemed to be, I cannot continue to be assaulted and abused because you can't communicate without casting judgment and assumption. I would never cheat on you. So, like, I'm inclined to believe Samantha because, like, I just, like, here's the thing. Like, I'm inclined to believe Samantha. Like, I don't know. I'm inclined to believe Samantha. I just have goodwill towards her because she reminds me, I think it's that she reminds me a lot of Pansy from the Matherson marriage. And it's just, like, I feel bad for any woman who is in a position where, like, I just don't think any woman deserves to be, like, disrespected or treated in a way that's alleged to be abusive. So, like, I feel really, like, I just have a lot of empathy towards Samantha, and so I'm inclined to believe her personally. So I'm inclined to believe her. So Samantha says, I would never cheat on you. I will not continue to press charges if you violate whatever BS restraining order they give you. I want you to get to Vermont safely. I do love you, but I love myself enough to know I will not allow you to keep abusing me. Good. You do not deserve to be abused. You do not deserve to be abused. There have to be consequences. I am not a malicious person, Tarl. I tried so hard and I've been so patient. This poor girl. Okay, and I think that's the end of the message between, like, the screenshot of the message convo that's alleged to be between Tarl and Samantha. And then Julian responds to that, like, a frowny, like, a sad face. Whatever you do, don't feel guilty. And Samantha says, I'm not Satan. I don't like delivering punishment. It hurts. And then Julian says, it does. And then Samantha appears to have shared a YouTube link. I'm not sure what the video is. And in caps, nothing happened in the way I wanted. And caps. Oh, that's also in quotation, by the way. And Julian says, don't go getting sad about it, Sammy. Be hopeful. Look forward to a change of heart, to good things to come. And Samantha reacted to that message, I believe, with a heart emoji because it has a heart emoji reaction. Julian says, channel positivity. Grab your Bible and look at what I wrote in it and read Isaiah 14. Trust me. Okay, so, okay. That's the end of that message, but I was going to say that if he wrote something in her Bible that would suggest to me that these people seem to be very good friends, or like that Julian and Samantha seems to have historically been on very good terms if he's like writing messages in her religious text. And Julian sent a video that says, maybe this will cheer you up, and it's a link to a video called Gary's Worms, I think. I'm not sure if it's a channel or a video called Gary's Worms. Samantha says 10 seconds in and I already be laughing, LOL. And I think Julian reacted to that with a heart emoji. And then October 1st at 8:44 a.m. There's some, I'm not really sure what this is, but it appears to be some sort of post that says, when the Bible tries to warn you, you better listen. And then it has Kamala Harris. So I don't know what that's about. Like, I don't know how that's related at all. I think this is supposed to be like a meme about, this is probably some like message hating on Kamala Harris, because it says, it's a Revelation quote, Revelation 17:4. The woman was arrayed in purple and scarlet and decked with gold and precious stone and pearls, having in her hand a golden cup full of abominations, even the unclean things of her fornication. Oh, I think it's like supposed to be a message hating on Kamala Harris, because Kamala Harris in that image is wearing purple and I guess has jewelry on. I don't know. Like, here's the thing. I don't want to be judgmental to other people and their religious beliefs. Sometimes what I'm trying to say is, like, I don't always get some of the criticisms about political figures where people try and tie them into like end of the world prophecies. Like, I prefer to criticize political figures based on like their track record in office or their policy positions or stuff like that, like, and not end of the world prophecy stuff. And Julian says happy October, smiley face. And Samantha says, oof, yeah, though. And then the next message seems to be on October 1st at 9:22 a.m. Samantha saying, he tried to tell me that permanent contentment and peace is an illusion. Oh. I'm wondering, like, what I'm wondering is that in a context of, like, a religious disagreement? And who, like, because that seems to skip a little bit, so I'm not entirely sure what this is in reference to, like, what? But either way, okay, the next message is October 1st at 9:24 a.m. Missed audio call, tap to call back. Samantha says, accident, sorry. And then October 1st at 10:51 a.m., Julian says, peace is peace. It's only an illusion to someone who doesn't have the fortitude to turn from their emotions. And the only reason a person wouldn't have that is because they will not turn from sin. So the impression I have of Julian is that Julian is very devoted to religion. Um, that is the impression that I have of Julian. So I want to say that like I respect people's different beliefs. Um, uh, I'm not really necessarily going to read that part because it seems to be like just a religious conversation. Okay, so it seems like Julian is just consoling Samantha, talking about like religious things to try and console her, or at least that is the vibe that I get there. And Samantha says, "Thank you, Julian, a thumbs up." And then October 1st at 5:09 p.m., Julian is asking Samantha, "How's it going? Is he out?" And Samantha says, "Internet is showing he's still being held. I signed up for text alerts, so when that changes, I will get notified." And it looks like Julian did a thumbs up to that. And Samantha says, I'm leaving the hotel." And then October 1st at 6:31 p.m., Julian tells Samantha, "Where you go?" And then this will be a great opportunity for Torl to tell his audience how evil liquor is, what it did to you both on your vacation, and to come clean about his personal life. In a roundabout way, get him to watch my new video. Watch it with him. I talk about myself. Maybe it will encourage him to talk about himself. Ironically and unintentionally, I am even dressed like him in it." And I kind of want to laugh at this because, here's the thing. I don't think that the response I don't think that Tarl ever gave the response that Julian was hoping for. I don't really watch his channel, but I did kind of anymore. I used to watch his channel. I stopped watching shortly after he brought Samantha on his live stream because I didn't really feel comfortable about a YouTuber that I previously admired. So I did not feel comfortable with the fact that in a previous, I think it was the day before or something, it was like a Monday, he was hitting on someone, I believe the name was Barb in his chat. And then when I was like, "Don't you have a wife?" It felt like he was hitting on me, and that made me feel uncomfortable. And then when he brought, I believe, Samantha on his live stream back, I think it was it was September, I think it was Tuesday, September, was it the 10th? Let me check real quick. Yeah, it was the 10th. So that's been a month now. When he brought Samantha on, I kind of stopped watching him after that, but I did make sure to go watch the video where he, the one where he was released, talking about how he was released from jail. And I don't think that Charles / Styx's response to the whole experience was quite what Julian was hoping his response would be. So, yeah. On October 1st at 6:49 p.m., so that's a little bit of a time jump, Samantha says, "You think he's going to do that?" I'm wondering if she's the tone that I would interpret from that is her being "Are you being serious?" I think she also thinks Tarl probably would not respond in the way that Julian thinks or wants Tarl to respond. And Julian said, "I don't know." And then Samantha says, "So I don't know if there's any timestamp or time skip or not." Samantha says, "He's gonna have a restraining order, dude." Julian says, "WYM question mark? I think that's what do you mean?" Samantha says, "He can't contact me. I'm not at the hotel anymore either. He was arrested for simple battery." I think the specific charge was called domestic abuse battery. But yeah, I think that was I think the specific charge name was domestic abuse battery. Julian says, "The state placed a restraining order against your will." Samantha says, "Yep." There's some of her next message is crossed out. Something twice in the past and something Jules. So something there was blurred out. Samantha says, "I don't know about that with anyone but blanked out and his mom and his wife." And then Julian sends a message that's 2 minutes and 35 seconds. It's a vocal message, but because this is a screenshot, I can't play that message. And Samantha says, I wasn't screaming at Tarl those times. The first time was me making a comment and then explaining what I meant by it, and he became absolutely livid pissed. I accused him of something, like, it's that word's blocked off by this girl for details thing. Something his niece. And then the next message says, because you don't tell children, and then it's blocked off. Like, it's a lot of this page of screenshots is blocked off, so we are losing some context here. So what is visible is, because you don't tell children, you can do whatever you want as long, and then I can't see the rest of it. And Julian responds with a like wow emoji, like what? And Samantha says, just because she's scared of the dark, like, no. And then, so I was concerned and brought, and then that part is also blocked out. And then there are 2 voice messages from Julian to Samantha. One is 10 minutes, 54 seconds. The next is 36 seconds. But those are, like, again, I can't hear those because this is a screenshot. And Samantha says, right, that's what I mean. The depths of this guy's capacity for evil is terrifying. I have a lot of grace for him, but I have to draw my sword at some point. Absolutely, I wish... And then this is kind of blocked by that scroll for details thing. Something nothing but the best in my heart is his. And then the next message says, so until he steps into the role he is meant to be in, I'm protecting myself. And then Julian has 2 more messages, one 2 minutes and 12 seconds, one 22 seconds, that I cannot play. Samantha says, but he chooses to turn away from God at every opportunity. I pulled tarot before I left for the trip, asking what would happen after the trip. The Page of Cups, 3 of Cups, and Death card fell out. Oh, death? My experience with tarot is mostly in Phasmophobia. So to me, like, Death card means, oh my gosh, the ghost is about to hunt. Go hide, go hide, go hide immediately. Like, go hide. So when I hear Death card in tarot, like, I have that immediate visceral reaction of go hide. But Samantha said, I pulled tarot before I left for the trip, asking what would happen after the trip. The Page of Cups, 3 of Swords, and Death card fell out. I laughed and said, wee! All right. I don't know. I don't know why I said it like that. It's capitalized, so I wanted to give a little vocal thing there. I laughed and said, we, all right. Whatever happens, happens. Your cats be hungry, in caps. Oh my gosh, there's a picture of kitties! So Julian says, nah, they fed, and Samantha has, like, a laughing emoji response. And then there's a picture of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I think it's 8 cats. Oh my gosh, she has 8 cats? That's a handful. That's a handful. Oh my gosh, she has 8 cats, like, eating food. That is so adorable, though. Like, I just adore cats. That is so sweet. That is so cute. Yeah, it's a picture of kitties eating, and it appears to be kind of on I think it's in a kitchen because there's a tile floor, and there looks to be, like, an island in the middle. So I think it's in a kitchen. Okay, and the next message, I'm not sure what time it's at. Samantha says, scratching it, yeah. Julian says, somehow I knew to take that picture for you. And then in parentheses, I didn't know it was for you. Aw, that's so sweet. So that's, like, that is so sweet. That is so sweet. Aw, like, that's such a comforting thing. Like, I remember I was, like, really, like, I was really stressed out a while ago, about something, and I was just, like, talking to one of my friends, and my friend basically, like, was sending me videos about, like, hair braiding tutorials, and she just knew what to do to, like, calm me down and get me in a better headspace. So, like, that's just the vibe that I get from this interaction between Julian and Samantha. Like, he's just being really considerate of and supportive of her, like, whatever mental state she's in. Like, I don't know, it just seems very empathetic and kind. And Samantha says, the kitties pick, and then she sends an audio message back that's 2 minutes and 4 seconds, but I can't play that because it's a screenshot. I started to ramble and my mind drifted off at the end, lol. And then Julian replies to a message from Samantha that said, but he chooses to turn away from God at every opportunity, with a 3-minute and 22-second audio file. Samantha says, this is why I can't continue my relationship with him. That's why he calls himself Satan. His childhood trauma. I'm not entirely sure what religious belief Styx currently identifies as. But I do want to say, please be respectful of different people's religious beliefs. If to anyone commenting, please be respectful. This, at least I am in America, where we have the First Amendment, and so I really want to support freedom of religion. Please don't be mean to people based off of their religious differences. So Samantha said his childhood trauma. He won't forgive those who took him from his parents and ruined his childhood. It's a lack of forgiveness. And then it cuts off. It's a lack of forgiveness. I've already tried discussing it with him because he doesn't want to understand God. He holds on to anger. He thinks God is a horrible person that calls the as below while promoting the as above. But don't let me speak for him. So yeah, that's a good thing, but don't let me speak for him. That shows a lot of respect. I think Samantha's showing a lot of respect there. And then there's an audio message from Julian to Samantha that is, again, I can't hear, but it's 1 minute and 59 seconds. And then he has another 3-second audio response and another 4-second audio response. Samantha says, I love that they happen for a reason. Understood, lol. I don't live with a man. Oh, understood, lol. Don't live with a man until you're married. I think that's what it says. Okay, understood, lol. Don't live with a man until you're married. I have to figure that out. I want to. There's a marked out message there. The rest of that message is marked out. And then Julian has a 3-minute and 11-second audio response. Samantha says, imagine him opening up about his childhood and everyone finally understanding, and then he ends up understanding. You think he's going to call himself Paul? Haha. Oh, is that in reference? I think that might be in reference to one of the apostles. And then Julian has a 3-minute, 32-second audio response that I can't hear. And Samantha says, ooh, 333 on that timer. And then I'm not entirely sure if there's a time jump at all between these messages. Samantha says, but yeah, I'll be fine. Everything turns out as it should. And then there's more audio messages, one that's 7 minutes 12 seconds, one that's 7 minutes 11 seconds, one that's 1 minute 49 seconds from, I believe, Julian to Samantha. And then my headphones automatically turned off again. And then October 1st at 8:13 p.m., there's a 19-minute 45-second message from Julian to Samantha. And then Julian says, I know that's a lot, and I understand if you respond quickly, lol. Okay. And then October 2nd at 2:43 p.m., Julian says, I wonder how long they're going to keep him. Samantha says, same, probably until he's sober. I don't wonder, actually. I'm just wondering how. And then there's a lot of stuff that's blanked in the next paragraph. And then October 2nd at 11:08 p.m., Julian sends Samantha a link to a YouTube video. And October 3rd at 2:23 a.m., Samantha says, he's calling, begging me to go back. I'm scared. Oh my gosh, this poor girl. I feel awful for her. Just Samantha, wherever you're at, I hope you're safe. October 3rd at 10:07 a.m. is when Julian responds, OMG. And October 3rd at 10:22 a.m., there appears to have been an audio call that lasted 15 minutes and 1 second. And then, okay, the next information we get is a screenshot that Julian sent to Samantha that says highlighted reply, Dark Magician fan 3423 16 minutes ago was saying, all right, everyone, it looks like I've been indicted for domestic violence. Of course, I predicted this. Then it's kind of a, what's that word? It's one of those greater than or less than signs. It looks like it's meant to be like a bullet point. Link to the story below, archived, of course. Bullet point sips tea, bullet point. Right now, I'd put my chance of conviction at around 50 or 55%, but of course, you must look at the aggregate with regard to who is on the jury. Bullet point. The legacy media will, of course, be in the tank for conviction, so it comes down to whether or not the jury is honked. Bullet point. I'm going to be live streaming my own trial with special guest Lazy P Martini in the quartering. Bullet point. That's about all. Peace out. Okay, so I think that Dark Magician Fan 3423 was doing a Styxhexenhammer666 impression or imitation, like making fun of trying to make fun of like how Styx talks, like what he would say. So I think that's meant to be a Styx impression in the comment section that Julian sent a screenshot of to Samantha to cheer her up. And then Samantha, so I guess that maybe didn't cheer her up because Samantha did like one of those emojis, like a frowny, unhappy emoji or an exasperated emoji. And then sigh. That you? A question mark. Heh. And then she sent something that says ooh. And it seems to be, I'm not sure if it's a video. Okay, there's a symbol that says TikTok on it, so I think that's a video. So Samantha seems to have sent Julian just some sort of video, but I'm not sure if it's on Facebook or TikTok because it has like Facebook as like the source, but there's also like an image, like the little TikTok logo within the video, so I don't know. Julian says, no, it isn't me, lol. Okay. The next part, Julian says, whoa, good find. And then Samantha has a 1 minute, 2 second message that I can't hear. So I ended up losing points for being uncreative, but we still got an A cause for an A. Oh, so I ended up losing points for being uncreative, but we still got an A, like the grade, because our excitement and presentation of it, and we went into more detail than any other groups did. Well, that's good. Congrats on your assignment. Like it wasn't completely original, so she took 5 points off or something, but whatever, lol. And then Julian gives a 3 minute, 57 second audio response, and at Master Race Frankenstein Radio YouTube. So that's actually the video that I am like giving my commentary on right now, the channel. This is on Master Race Frankenstein Radio's YouTube channel. But this video is titled John 8-Hurricane Band of Heathens cover. And Samantha responds, yeah, it's pretty cool to create your own languages. And there was like an audio message from Julian that again I can't play. And then it goes to the next screenshot where Samantha says, but God himself destroyed the Tower of Babel because God forbid the wrong people gain this information to use it against others for power and profit. So they seem to be going on about more of their like religious belief stuff, I guess. So this seems to be kind of just like a religious conversation between the two of them. And Julian has a 1 minute, 11 second audio message. And Samantha says, had to be love. He posted it to Twitter. And then October 3rd at 12:05 p.m., Julian tells Samantha, dude, he just posted a video 45 minutes ago and said the charge is, in quotation marks, spurious. Drop him altogether unless he comes clean about everything. How atrocious. Here comes the sun. So, here comes the sun, I think is a song lyric. Samantha says spurious, question mark. Julian says means false. And Samantha says, ha, the bitch word period. Okay. Well, I mean, to be honest, since I believe that Samantha is a woman, her using the word bitch could be seen as reclaiming the word. So, like, I'm not gonna be all mad at her for using that word. Julian says, take a video showing face and bruise while it's there. Samantha, in quotation marks, I don't care if you're crying. The bruise is already gone. Oh, well, I hope that she's physically healing. I feel awful for her. Julian says, yeah, that wasn't easy to watch. Why did your nose bleed? Samantha responds, the cops have video cam footage of me showing them where the phone hit. And then there is a 32-second audio message. And Samantha says, and I told Tarl it's because of stress. Wait, I'm confused. I'm really confused. So I told Tarl it's because of stress. Is that in reference to the nosebleed, or is that in reference to something within the message? Julian says, OMG, Sam, and then he's linking to a video by Styx that's, it seems to be one titled How to Succeed, something, ... And then the next screenshot has a 3-minute 42-second audio message from Julian to Sam, and Sam says they never do work out how we expect. I think he's in a transition period. He's still operating in ego, in chrysalis mode, or he's literally Satan and will be burned. That's not a very nice thing to call someone. I mean, I guess I shouldn't be saying that, because, like, I feel like if the things Samantha has alleged that he's done to her are true, then, like, I can see where she would say not nice things about him. I feel awful for this poor woman. No clue. Full moon time. Sorry to be a witch. I'm not. I'm just a just a bitch. And then Julian responded with a heart emoji. And Samantha says, I'll be like, pay me $30K and I'll talk. What? And then she says, kidding, I'll take donations though. Aww. Julian has a 2-minute 51-second audio message and then another audio message in response. But again, I can't hear those. And the next message, Samantha says, they can't destroy me. I'm a child of God. And then Julian responds with a heart emoji. Well, that's sweet. That's sweet that they're just like comforting each other with their religious beliefs. That's very sweet. Samantha says, Trump can't win. Politics keeps us divided. And then Julian responds with heart to the politics keeps us divided message. And then Samantha says, he perpetuates the system instead of breaking it because he's been benefiting from it. And then October 3rd at 1:50 p.m., Julian sends a 17-second audio message, and Samantha responds with what? Scrambling to get what info to him, and how is he done? Julian says, the info that he was in jail. You told me you told Jeremy with that screenshot. Samantha says, yes, via email. And then Julian's next message is kind of cut off there. Okay. Here's the next screenshot page. Julian says he said a team of people worked together to get the info to him. And then there's a screenshot that appears to be one that Samantha took that has a title of I think it's an email title that says, we have received your inquiry. And it's to, I think it's a screenshot of the quartering, like an email to or from the quartering. Wait, from the quartering to Samantha. Hi there, Twiggy. Thank you for getting in touch. We have received your inquiry and we will get back to you within 1 business day. I'm not entirely sure who Twiggy is supposed to be. Samantha says, yeah, whoever works in his emails, people on, I think that she is referencing a site that is not YouTube friendly. Assumed Liz sent it. And then in caps, he's live now. Julian says, yeah. And then Samantha says, oh, well, I'm going to eat my lunch and read the Bible. I opened it to this. Aw, that's so sweet. That's so sweet. I'm glad that she's doing something that's going to bring her a peace of mind. That's very sweet. And then she shows an image of her Bible open to a specific passage. I can't really tell what one it is from that photo. And Julian responded to that with a heart emoji. And Julian said, I read those chapters a lot lately. What a quote-unquote coincidence. Or in quotation marks, coincidence. And Samantha responds, show them the house of Israel and let them be ashamed of their iniquities. I'm not entirely sure, like, what that passage means to them. But Julian responded with a heart emoji. And then Samantha says, Ezekiel 43:10. And then Julian's like, whoa, very potent. So this appears to be kind of just like a religious conversation now. I'm not entirely sure why this was included. And then the next screenshot says, wait, I'm not sure. Is this anti-Semitic? Because Julian says, and then Jews in quotation marks says it's about a building. We know it's about our bodies. I'm not entirely sure if I like how he's like putting Jews in quotation marks. Like, I don't know. I think we should be respectful to like all people of all religions and ethnic backgrounds. So like I want to say I condemn anti-Semitism. And I think Samantha responded to Julian's quote with a heart emoji. And then October 3rd at 2:18 p.m., Samantha says, I'm still floored that he thinks depression is a result of lack of success, low self-esteem, caring too much about others, having addictions. Like, I'm pretty sure that depression is like a mental health condition. Like, if anyone in my audience is having like mental health issues, talk to an actual mental health professional. Like, don't take advice from some YouTuber about it. Like, talk to an actual mental health professional, because I'm pretty sure that depression is something that is a mental health issue, and that sometimes doctors can do things, like can prescribe things if you're dealing with a mental health issue. So if you are dealing with depression, talk to a doctor. And then Julian has a 17-second audio response, and Samantha says, depression is a chemical imbalance, an inability to produce or accept happy hormones, typically due to long-term stress, excess cortisol. So again, I want to say I'm not a doctor. If you are having mental health concerns, talk to a doctor, talk to a trusted medical professional. And Julian says, didn't you say his hearing is on the 8th? And Samantha says, yeah, that's what he just said. Okay. And then there is a screenshot of... Okay, Samantha sent a screenshot of what appears to be a booking information page. It is very hard to see the details, though. And Samantha says, oh, that's old. I don't have a new one. You can see it online. And then... Actually, I think I might actually have to blur that in post. I think I'm actually going to have to blur that in post for essentially legal reasons. And Julian says, I heard him say it's a few months, so I was making sure. And Samantha says, funny how he's going to grift his experience and not tell what happened. And Julian says, he is saying things that make no sense. Oh, and then, psh, I know, right? And then the next screenshot, Samantha says, 3 nights, 4 nights, 1 week in jail. And if I remember right, I think it's in reference to, I think in Styx's video where he was talking about his experiences in jail, like he was making it seem like he'd been there for longer than canonically he was. And so I believe that's what Samantha's comment there is about. Julian says, want to come on my channel on the 9th? And Samantha says it was 2 nights and released the 3rd, 10-10. Sorry, 10-10. I'm not sure if that's, in this case, a date. Like, okay, I think she's referring to a calendar date, and that's in reference to the on the 9th thing. And Julian says, okay. And Samantha says, if I'm able to. Julian says, the date or 100% lol. Samantha says, the date. And Julian says, okay. And then there's a 32-second message that, again, I can't hear. And Samantha's like, who is that in the background? Sounds like name blinked out. That dead ass sounds like my name blinked out. And then Julian has a 7-second message, like audio message. And then the next screenshot is from October 3rd at 3:45 p.m. Julian has a 33-second audio message to Samantha. Samantha says, I've already experienced this too, deja vu. Julian says, what do you know of Christ? With neither patience nor forgiveness, without peace at all, yet you judge Samantha. Samantha says, what the hell are you talking about? And then Julian says, oh, that was for blank. I'll send a VM. I wonder if VM means video message. Samantha says, oh dear, could you not? And then Julian sends a 6-minute, 7-second audio message, and then it's okay. And Samantha says he was the first man to... Okay, so I have heard this allegation on Reddit before. I have heard this allegation on Reddit. But it is a little bit shocking to essentially read it in a DM between her and Julian. So that to me is more confirmation of her story, like more confirmation that I believe that this actually happened. Um, because essentially she's saying it not just publicly, but in private. Samantha was saying, he was the first man to impregnate me. We were married before God. Forgive her for something. Forgive her for she knows not. Tarl gets mad for the exact same. Oh gosh. Oh, I think that was a video transition. Sorry. Okay. I think the next screenshot in order is, forgive her, she knows not. Tarl gets mad for the exact same reasons he listed in the video I sent you. He thinks I'm too perfect, too divine, and lashes out. Ew, what kind of response is that to you? And then Julian gives a 56-second audio message. Samantha says, it's to own him. Jeremy likes owning people. What? Jeremy? I think Jeremy here is in reference to Jeremy from the Quartering. So she says it's Jeremy likes owning people? What? What? That just makes me laugh. Okay. What? I'm just picturing, like, Jeremy as, like, Madame Cart from Barbie as the Princess and the Pauper. Sorry, that's just the image in my head right now. Okay. Julian says, you probably got a lot of tea on people, huh? LOL. Samantha says, Tarl's one of his little cash puppets. You can tell in how he interacts with him, and he's always extremely short in conversation offline. It's all to push the Trump agenda, I'm sure. And then that's kind of blocked by this scroll for details thing, why they want him in office so bad. Okay, is this skipping anything, or is this... Okay, I think this was like a video effect. And then there's the next message is Julian saying, you didn't press charges though, right? Samantha says, I haven't done anything except flee. And Julian gives a 35-second response message. Samantha says, he plays the game like if Kamala wins, it's World War III. Why would I reconcile? The thought makes my hands turn to ice and my throat close up. Oh, this poor Samantha, this poor girl, this poor woman. My heart just goes out to her from one woman to another. Like, my heart goes out to her. And then Julian has a 1 minute 44 second response and a 0 minute 31 second audio response. And then Samantha says, I can't give him anything else. It will cause me to suffer. Julian, 38 second audio response. And then the next one is October 4th, something 27 a.m. Okay, let me see. Sorry, making sure I didn't miss any. Samantha then says, I don't think I'm able to even do that, Julian. He will weasel his way back in. I can't be with someone who's okay with making me financially dependent on them and then assaults me and threatens me just because they think I'm cheating on them. Headphones died again. And threatens me just because they think I'm cheating on them. I'm past that. He was projecting because he's still cheating on me with other women. I mean, what I can say is that the day before you were on his live stream, Samantha, he was like flirting with people in the chat, in the live stream chat. Like, I don't necessarily think he's the most loyal human in the world. I do not think Styx is the most loyal human in the world. And so, like, I can see why you might have concerns. Like, what if he was unfaithful? Because, again, the evidence of it was on a live stream. Like, he was flirting with women in the chat, and it made me really uncomfortable. And then he brought you on the chat, then he brought you on a live stream on it was the Tuesday, September 10th live stream, I think, and introduced you as his girlfriend, and he did something that he shouldn't have done on stream. Like, he touched you inappropriately on stream, and I'm just like, I feel awful for you. Like, I think a lot of people who viewed Styx, who used to watch him, feel awful for you, and just the way that you've been treated is not okay. The way you've been treated is not okay. You are deserving of respect. I felt awful for Samantha. And then the next the next message has the first word is blurred out specifically, so he can go be with her since he wants to chase her so bad and throw his money at her and think she deserves it more than I do. October 4th at 11:15 a.m. Julian says, good for you, Sam, heart emoji. And then October 4th at 12:45 p.m., audio call that lasted 34 seconds. And Samantha has an emoji of, I believe it's a monkey with hands over its eyes saying, oh, good Lord. And then it has a T at the end, but I think that's a typo. And then the next message is October 4th at 1:09 p.m. He just posted 16 minutes ago on Twitter, what are you talking about? It's kind of cut off at the bottom there. Okay, October 4th at 2:43 p.m., Samantha says, are you just trying to start shit? And Julian says, WYM, what do you mean? Okay. So there is a screenshot of a comment by someone called @JohnDoe14783 saying, breaking news, Styx arrested again. He violated the protective order. But I don't know if this is actually true or not. I do not know if that is true. I do not know if that actually happened. I cannot confirm whether that is true or false. Julian said that's what I was referring to. And then Samantha has another exasperated emoji and then said 111 thumbs up. And then Julian says 111 question mark. And Samantha sends a screenshot of the comment screenshot by John Doe with the 111 like circled. Oh, so she's referring to the fact that it has 101 likes. And Julian's like, oh. And Samantha's like, John Doe. And on October 5th at 1:43 p.m., Samantha says, I find it annoying that his ex, name is blanked out, is gloating about it online as if it wasn't her that single-handedly destroyed two... Why is she specifying white there? Why would you need to specify white? That just... I don't know. I'm just why are you bringing race into this? That just seems weird to me. But I understand that this was essentially a conversation between Samantha and Julian originally. Even though it has since been posted online, her intended audience probably wasn't originally the entire internet, so maybe she's speaking differently in private than she would to the public. I find it annoying that his ex-blank is gloating about it online as if it wasn't her that single-handedly destroyed two race-mentioned families because she couldn't leave us the hell alone. Okay, the next message is Julian saying, don't let it get to you. She knows not what she does. People who are led about by their emotions say and do foolish things. Clarify this for me. You didn't leak it to... I believe that it's a site that is not YouTube friendly. So I'm not going to mention it vocally because it has been covered that you talked about him there in 2019. Sam, this is really crazy. We need to chat on the phone later. I have some thoughts about Tarl and the quartering. And then Julian says, man, these guys are enjoyable, and links a YouTube video. And Samantha says, leak what to a site that is not necessarily YouTube friendly. I'll be in Atlanta for 3 hours during my layover between 6 and 9. I don't know if that's 5 to 8 in Louisiana, but I'd be happy to chat. And then October 5th at 2:56 p.m., Samantha says, I just don't know if I should throw the book at him or just exit stage left. And then there is... Oh, is that a Shakespeare reference? It's kind of cultured. I used to do theater. So, Julian has a 8-minute, 12-minute audio message that I can't hear. And then the next screenshot, not sure how far in advance it is Julian saying, I really think you should come on my podcast and put a light on it all. He had not only abused you, but denied it and lies to 500,000 people. Come tell all, and we can preach repentance and transformation of the mind. Don't put a candle under a table, put it on the table so that all in the room can see. And then Samantha gives a heart emoji response to that and says a 17-second audio message. And then Julian says, enjoy your flight, Sam. TTYL, which I believe means talk to you later. Samantha says, do you hear the song that just started playing? JFC. I think that's supposed to be Jesus, and then fucking, and then Christ. I believe that's what that acronym is for. It was too synchronous. And then Julian says, haha, wow. Yeah, God's plan is unfolding, and you are a big part of good things to come for everyone. And then Samantha responds with a heart emoji. And then Samantha gives a exhausted emoji response, and then says it's exhausting. And Julian gives a heart emoji in response to that. And Julian says, amen. Okay. Amen. And then he links to a website. I think it's Douay Rheims Bible, Ezekiel chapter 37. And then he says, read that. So again, they seem to be having a religious conversation. And then Julian says, if Charles means what he said in those messages, tell him to come on my show with you. This is his Jesus arc. He must be resurrected or turned to ash. I personally, I don't really like when people are, overly pushy about trying to get folks to convert. That's just not my cup of tea, but to each their own, I guess. And Samantha says, I never posted anything to a site that is not necessarily YouTube friendly since 2019. And Julian responded with a thumbs up. And Samantha says, I will do nothing until after his court hearing. My heart belongs to God. And then Julian responds to Samantha's comment with a heart emoji. And then Samantha linked a screenshot of Styxhexenhammer666's YouTube profile where it says 510k subscribers, I am God, and then links some stuff. The links to his other, what's it called? ToralWarwickBooks.blogspot.com and 6 more links. And then the next screenshot is Samantha saying we're taking off. Julian saying, oh, Kai? Okay, bye. Oh, so he's trying to say, okay, bye. Enjoy. And Samantha says, I'll try. I'll be back in a couple of hours. I don't think airplane mode matters anymore. Lol. And then Julian says, open that link I sent and read it. And then October 5th at 4:50 p.m., Samantha says, I did. FMA was available on the flight, and I completely forgot how much I detest episode 4. Nina and Alexander. Heavy feels, lol. Julian says, what are these things, lol? Samantha says, Full Metal Alchemist. Oh, Full Metal Alchemist! Is it the original or Brotherhood? That's the important question. And then Julian's like, ooh, I love that, been a while. And then there seems to be an image that's partially cut off. What's artwork? There's an image of artwork. It appears kind of to be a sculpture of a cat, maybe? It feels almost like a sculpture of a cat or some sort of animal. It looks maybe like a lion or a lioness. And I'm not entirely sure what it's made out of. It's really hard to tell with how small it is, how small the image is. Samantha says, for me to see this inside the airport was a little weird after watching that episode where she gets turned into a chimera. Oh my gosh. The feels. Okay, I know. I'm gonna try not to give spoilers, but I know what she is referring to, and that is just definitely one of the very painful and horrifying parts of anime. Anyways, so Julian says a bunch of dots, and then hideous. It's a hideous beast. It's harassing me. And then Samantha says, have you heard about the satanic law of reversal? I can never find anything about it, but I always say that's why I don't like dog. What? Oh, okay. If I remember correctly, Samantha has posted on Instagram on some not Instagram, what's the word? Reddit. On Reddit on some dog-free subreddit before. So if I remember correctly, Samantha isn't a huge dog fan. So that lines up with what I know about her from publicly available information before. Julian says, yes, it's actually... I'm not sure if this is anti-Semitic or not. I think this might be anti-Semitic, so I don't think I want to read that. I think that Julian might be saying something that's a little bit anti-Semitic, and so I want to say that I condemn anti-Semitism, and I think racism is bad, and I think we should respect everyone's religious beliefs. And then Samantha said something that I think is a little bit racist, and so I don't feel comfortable repeating that. I want to say that I condemn racism. I condemn racism. Racism is bad. I think racism is icky, and I don't want anyone in my comment section to be racist. And the next screenshot is from October 5th at 5:50 p.m. Samantha says, yeah, you essentially said his name means woman beater. Or no, but then below it, it looks like this was edited and added on by Julian. It says in quotations, war with Wicca. And then Samantha says, lol. And Samantha says, and I believe you're right about him being a psychological op. What is it with people and accusing folks of being psyops? Like, what is with that? Samantha says, yes, and he's Satan. Okay, so she's calling him literally Satan. Then Samantha says, he gets paid. If only everyone stood by me, like Blake, my husband, etc., on this mission, it would make it 100 times easier. But I also believe that had they, I wouldn't have been able to do what's been done. Okay, I have a question here. Is Samantha still married to Blake? Something's like not quite adding up here, because I thought that on this, like, I know for a fact that on the September 10th live stream, Styx referred to Samantha as his girlfriend. So how does she have a husband named Blake? Like, something about that just isn't quite reconciling in my brain. And then there is a screenshot that Samantha sent that says, okay, it says AI overview. Something crossed out has multiple meanings, including a surname, a given name, and a river in Germany. So I think this is supposed to be like information about like the etymology of a name or something. Okay. It was never about something. It was always about Liz and blank. I was just his. And then, okay, next screenshot says, it was never about me. It was always about Liz and blanked out. I was just his mission to destroy, I guess. He had to complete the Dutch circle with Liz. I don't understand what complete the Dutch circle means. If it's racist, I condemn racism. Then Samantha says, Jesus, the signs can't be any clearer. And she's holding up a, like, I believe it's from a fortune cookie. It's one of those, like, little, like the fortunes that come in fortune cookies. That's like a little skinny piece of paper. And it says, the strengths in your character will bring you serenity. And then Julian responds with a heart emoji, and Julian says, it all happens for a reason. Don't overthink it. God's flawless plan unfolds. And then Samantha responds with a heart emoji, and Samantha says, look, I really don't even know what I was doing other than giving my issues to... Okay, that's hard to read. I'm going to go on to the next text. Okay. Sorry, the next screenshot. Samantha says, look, I really don't even know what I was doing other than giving my issues to God and being patient. I waited and watched. Toril did what he did, and now what's done is done. And then Julian says, it's all for the better. I'm really excited for you. And Samantha says, I'm worried about speaking about it publicly. I think you should talk to Steven. I'm not sure who Steven is. Julian says, why are you worried? Who is Steven? Thank you, Julian, for asking that question. Samantha says, my lawyer. Well, the lawyer Toril paid for. So Toril paid for a lawyer named Steven. Okay. And okay, that's what it seems to be saying. Julian says, let him talk to Steven. You talk to God. And Samantha says, I'm going to cry to God as soon as I get in the car, just so you know. I'm holding back tears now about it because it's hitting me. How much more proof does this dude need that he's safe to step out of the darkness? And then that's hard to read. Okay, the next screenshot says, how much more proof does this dude need that he's safe to step out of the darkness? How much more evidence does he need of God's love? It's never enough for those who don't want it. And then Julian says, had Taro been talking to God, this would not have happened. God wants to speak, and he has chosen you to be a witness and put words in your mouth already. Testify. So, again, another, like, these, like, Samantha and Julian definitely are religious, and so that is definitely clear from the messages. Samantha sends a YouTube link. Everybody get down, stand up, don't be shy, testify. And then Julian gives a heart emoji and sends a 9-second message, a 15-second message, and a 14-second message that can't really be heard. And then the next message is from Samantha, and certain words are blurred out. Hey, blank, lol. Hey, blank, I've had quite an exhausting day. Thank you both. And then, like A in caps lock, lol. Bro, that made me smile. Julian gives a heart emoji response. Samantha says LMFAO. I think that's laughing my effing bottom off. You two are adorable. Julian responds with a heart emoji. And then Samantha responds, but part of it's blurred out. There's nothing worse than having blank in an airport bathroom. And then Julian says, LOL, a very graceful Sam. And Samantha says, also, I vaguely remember saying Tarl is a physical combination of Emperor Nero and ... someone else. And Julian responds with a 58-second message that I can't hear because these are just screenshots. And Samantha says, you understand why I've been how I've been too. LOL, his dad named him after a character in a book. The next part is hard to read. Actually, it's not in this text. So, also Sarah, is she known as reincarnation? My something name is Sam. Tarl's ex name, he attacked with a... Okay. So that was one that I couldn't fully read, and it is not actually continued in this next screenshot. So I don't know what that text was alleging. It would have been very, very helpful to have the full context of that. But unfortunately, that full context is missing. We don't have that full context there. Julian says, how do you feel? Samantha says, right now I feel peaceful and content. And Julian responds with a heart emoji. Samantha says, a bit thirsty, a little, like, is it normal to want to give attention to so many things in a day? Julian says, yeah, what do you mean? It has been nice to be home, and I'm sure there are many things you want to do. And Samantha gives a heart emoji response. When I said thirsty, I meant mentally thirsty. Like, I love checking different web pages and checking in with people and making sure everyone's good. And then, like, that's this dripping sweat, like, kind of, like, relieved. Not relieved. It's like a smiley face, teeth open, sweat dripping emoji. I'm trying to remember what that's called. Like what that particular emoji is called. It's kind of like I guess. That sounds weird. And Julian says, oh, nah, not that weird. My apologies, headphones died again. Julian says, oh, nah, not that weird. Samantha says, so many things I don't know where to start. And Julian says, I've been thirsty for Kino Casino. I think that's a gamble. Is that a gambling? I'm trying to remember. Is that like a gambling chain? I discovered them from their Tarl coverage, and the big fat guy is very funny. Oh, I also want to say, like, I condemn fat phobia. Samantha does that, like, kind of like sweaty smiley emoji again, saying, I don't know, I'm not into gossip like that anymore. That stuff gets old. And, or is Kino Casino like the name of a media? Like a type of media? Is it a show? Is it a YouTuber? Okay. Well, Julian says, I agree. They just talk about internet personalities. Pretty useless content. But the big plus-sized guy is very entertaining. Their reaction to Jeremy finding out about Tarl in real time is almost 3 hours long, and I've been listening to it since yesterday, lol. But everything bores me. All this YouTube crap is a distraction. One that I seriously recommend, though, Old World Floored. Check it out. Link. And then Julian links the YouTube channel Old World Florida. not sure what that channel is, what it has on it, or anything like that. Samantha says, TY, thank you. Okay. And then Sunday, 6:28 p.m., Samantha says, check out Mega Reacts at Mega Reacts, and it's linking to a x.com page, and then there's a screenshot where it says the quartering 1,000 members on the quartering website goal by November 5th already have the 20% off all coffee orders, have the exclusive 2 to 3 videos per week, have the members only Discord, chatting with you all daily. What do I need to add to make you pull the trigger? I am solely focused on this. And Mega Reacts, replying to the quartering, says, already pulled the trigger, being you helped my boy at Styxhexenhammer666 official out of the slammer. So that is the end of that screenshot. Sorry, the screenshot within a screenshot, essentially. Julian says, it's amazing how they aren't worried about why he went there. Samantha says, nobody is going to say what actually happened. Julian says, the link isn't working. Is it just a link to the picture? And then the next screenshot might be skipping in time forward. I'm not sure. Because it is Julian saying, you're welcome, to Samantha saying thank you. Julian says, you're welcome. That channel will blow your mind. Samantha says, link isn't working. No, I just tried it after finishing a video. I think I can find it though. And then Sunday at 7:42 p.m., Samantha says, I'm laughing so hard about the coffee. 1 thing says, big coffee is covered in mushrooms. That's gross. Buy my coffee that also has a mushroom blend coffee. Ha ha ha. And then Julian responded to that with a laughing haha emoji and says LMAO. And Samantha says, so is Worski the, I'm going to say plus size guy, because I don't like when people refer to people by their size, because I don't know, I feel like sometimes it's a little bit fatphobic. And I want to be inclusive to people of a vast variety of shapes and sizes. And Julian says no. And why? Samantha says the Oompa, I think it's supposed to say the Oompa Loompa dude. I'm just like, why? Why are we comparing people to that? Like, why? I don't want to have to read that. Julian says, I think his name is Ash. Yeah, green hair is Andy Worski. He is known for his internet blood sports forever ago. Samantha says, ew, I think that guy knows me. He's short IRL. I don't know why that's... I guess she's saying that to show that she has a memory in her head of what this person looks like. Or to help identify that, yes, she knows who this person is. Julian says, Tara was on his show with Fuentes and Sargon and some others talking race and IQ. What? Why would that be a topic of conversation? That just sounds really racist. I'm sorry, but talking race and IQs, just I immediately am going to assume that that's probably some really racist stuff. And I just want to say I condemn racism. Racism is gross. Samantha says, where is he from? Julian says, I don't know. How could he know you? And then Samantha says, UNO, which I think maybe that means maybe that means Uno, the game. Uno, I guess the game, or the number, or it could be an acronym for location. I'm not sure. Julian says, And then Samantha is linking a screenshot of what appears to be a video. And it's got the quartering in the background, and it's got someone dressed as Willy Wonka and someone dressed as an Oompa Loompa from Willy Wonka in the foreground. And Samantha says that was the moment, the oh no moment. And then Julian says, LMAO, yes, the faces are priceless. He blundered the whole thing terribly. Samantha says, my light bulb just exploded. 1 of 3 went out. Strange. Julian says, what WTF? What the fuck? Are they just out or exploded? Samantha, it did the zap thing and went out. The coil exploded inside. Julian, power surge? Samantha, no. Oh, that's just, sorry, I didn't pause quite in time. But that reminds me of Phasmophobia, because there's this light breaking event that can happen sometimes where the ghost will break the lights on you. But yeah, Samantha sent an image of a ceiling fan that has 2 lights on and 1 light off. And Julian says it happens, lol. Samantha says, still weird when it does. And Sunday at 8:05 p.m., I think she sent a picture of a table with books on it. It's really hard to tell. She says, feels good. And Julian says, looks very nice. The next screenshot, Julian says, can't wait for you to read Maureen and Tristan and Isolde. They're so good. I can't remember if that's British or French off the top of my head. I know that's a classic. Like, that's a really old story. Samantha says, depending on what happens, I may very well talk to Kino Casino about this if they're interested. Sunday at 8:51 p.m., Julian says, you said it. Those guys are literal drama queen. Entertaining as they are, it's a drama grift. Come on my show. Draw attention to my channel. Let this lead people to the gospel and my story to shed light on the... What? What the heck is a Nazi trans psyop? And the other things I've been a witness to. I just want to say, Nazis are bad. I condemn them. They are bad. Trans people are beautiful and deserving of our respect. Trans people are valid, and we need to respect trans people. Samantha says, I just do that 1,000-yard stare a person gets when they're too aware that nothing matters. And then there is a video that has the caption, when you fell for his toxic ass again and have to go tell your friends he is in fact not the love of your life. Oh, and it's like a baby wearing a towel over its head or a cape or something in the video. Like, I don't know. And the background is like this pink room. When you fall for his toxic shit again and have to tell your friends he's in fact not the love of your life. And then Julian says, oh, no, that poor baby. Samantha says, she's fine, I'm sure. Julian says, that is all good, Sam. See how it unfolds. Stay peaceful. I'm passing out. Good night. And then Samantha responds with a heart emoji and says, good night. Then at 7:03 a.m., Samantha says, blessed be, beautiful peeps. Heart emoji. Have a great day. And then there is a video with a caption, only ignorance is bliss. That means it is not given to us plainly. And the video has a woman wearing a blue shirt with a necklace on and I think a nose ring. And then the next message is at 10:16 a.m. Samantha says, Julian, I'm going to sue the abs... Oh, wow. Julian, I'm going to sue the absolute fuck out of you. I hope you know that. Maybe one day you'll learn to stay in your lane. You had absolutely no right to share those images and videos. You have no right, none. You're a piece of fake ass garbage just like the rest of them. You can suck my ass. May God smite you for being an envious sack of shit. So... to summarize, Samantha is upset with Julian. Samantha is not happy with Julian. And yeah. So, well, I guess what I'm going to say is this information is up on YouTube now. And so I do feel like it's fair for me to be able to react to this since this is publicly available. Then at 11:16 a.m., Samantha says, seriously, don't you understand that I already did what needed to be done and your interfering isn't helping? I asked you to listen and support me, not attempt to take my ship and steer it according to your will. You will reap what you sow. God sees all. You acted from emotion and lack of understanding by doing this. May he have mercy on you. And then at 12:08 p.m., there is a missed audio call. I'm not sure if that's to or from Julian. And then Julian says, I apologize. Samantha is linking a YouTube. Julian sends an emoji of what appears to be a dove holding an olive branch. And Samantha says, go shine, Julian. You wouldn't know God if he spoke out to you in plain English. And then Samantha says in quotation marks, I didn't hurt her. Do you know what you've done? In caps. No. May God forgive you, for you know not. I told you to walk the line. You took it as an invitation to burn yourself by flying too close. This was not your battle to fight. Just leave me alone. And Julian says, okay, period. Samantha says, your selfishness and greed will be the death of you. And then there is a 2-minute audio response from Julian that we can't hear. Okay, so that's just like a video transition there. Julian says, I love you, be calm, be patient, be hopeful. I made them private. Prayer emoji. At least at the time of recording this video, I don't think those are currently private. I think they got made public again. Believe that all is well, and then it is. And Samantha says, know that you are fucked and there will be recompense. I don't need to believe anything. And believe has the word lie capitalized in it, so she's emphasizing lie. I don't need to believe anything. Slanderer, God has no forgiveness for your kind. Now fuck off. Oh, wow. So she's insinuating that Julian is slandering? And stop posting on... Oh. So, stop posting on a site that I believe is not one that is particularly YouTube friendly. I don't think that's actually a YouTube friendly site. I do not think that's a YouTube friendly site. And Samantha says, because it's none ya business. And Julian says, slanderer, lie, you are confused, Sam. I didn't even mention the assault on site that I believe just isn't YouTube friendly. I will leave you alone. Seek peace. Good day. And Samantha says at 2:14 p.m., seek God. And then Julian gives a heart emoji, and Sam says, brother. And then at 2:53 p.m., Samantha says, vengeance is mine, so saith the Lord. What are ye that stand between the Lord and his vengeance? And Julian says, now you're acting like Charles. And Samantha has like an emoji of a heart with like band-aids on it. Okay. And that is the end of the text chain, because now it goes to essentially an image of a tomb with the words, what else is hiding in plain sight? So yeah, that was from Master Race Frankenstein Radio's YouTube channel, the video John 8 Dash Hurricane Band of Heathens cover. My voice is tired from reading all of that. Like, my voice is tired from reading all of that. But I wanted to give basically an update on this whole situation, give essentially my commentary on what I saw there. Be aware that this is, these are screenshots that Master Race Frankenstein Radio / Julian, I believe, took and compiled. And so, what I'm trying to say is that he seems to be the source for these. So if you want to see them for yourself, go check out his video. But again, I'm going to say, like, technically this is all alleged. And so I don't want to paint things as like, oh my gosh, this 100% is accurate to real life, when it's like, okay, there could be bias, there could be like missing context, and so take everything with a grain of salt. Thank you so much for listening to this video. Okay, I need to go blur out the parts that have like too much identifying information in them before I post this. Have a great day, y'all.